Hello, and welcome to this short presentation on the fundamentals of WincovER and how Ozroll products fit into the program. Now, the WincovER program is an initiative from the Blind Manufacturers Association of Australia, some 2 decades in the making. And Ozroll has been a strong supporter and sponsor of the program since, and we're incredibly proud to have been selected as a soft launch partner. Now, the basic concept of the program is to prove just how important window coverings are for building insulation, and to provide real data on potential energy savings for the consumer. And what better time to be launching this program with energy prices skyrocketing and sustainability being such a hot topic. Now, these ratings are formed by componentry testing that happens over in the USA on state-of-the-art technology. The results of those tests are returned to Australia, where they're independently scientifically modelled based on the Australian conditions. It just so happens Ozroll has some of the best ratings available on the market. Now here you see an example of a WincovER certificate. These have been designed to be published and provided to end users who purchase authorised WincovER products. Each certificate is going to be unique to each installation. And that means it includes information specific to that customer and specific to that product type and choice of operation that they're using on that application. Now I'll take you through some of the detail on what these ratings mean. And beneath the coloured stars on each certificate, you see 3 fixed values. These values come directly from the testing done in the US, and they can be really useful to understand, particularly when helping guide a consumer through their purchase decisions. The first of these is the U value, which is a scale that measures thermal transmittance, which effectively means how much heat can get through. How much heat do you want to keep out during summer? How much heat do you want to keep in during winter? Now, most Aussie products will fall somewhere between 2 and 10. And you can see in this example, we're at 3.51, which is a very strong result. And none of the Ozroll products are above 4. Moving along now to solar heat gain coefficient. Now this measures how well a product blocks radiant heat caused by sunlight. It's measured between 0 and 1, with a lower rating meaning less heat gain and a higher rating meaning more heat gain. Now you see in this example, the value is 0.045. Now that's incredibly close to 0. Now this is a white roller shutter. Now conversely, you'll see with a black roller shutter, the value is nearly 3 times the amount of that. And this is your first clue of just how much colour can influence a WincovER rating. And the third value is visible transmittance, which is quite simple, how much light can make its way through the product. Now with a roller shutter, you can promise 100% light blockout. You can see here that the value is 0. But it's worth mentioning that you want to make sure that the install is done correctly, and I'd recommend a face fit. Now we take a step back and look at the stars, and this is where the modelling comes into play. You see red stars, which denote heating, which means keeping heat in, ideal during winter, and the blue stars denote cooling, which effectively means keeping heat out, ideal during summer. Now it's important to understand that these ratings don't necessarily reflect the performance of the product, but rather they help you compare the product to other products, or even compare the product to itself. And by that I mean you might compare an Ozroll roller shutter to an Ozroll plantation shutter, or you can compare a white Ozroll roller shutter to a black Ozroll roller shutter. As I mentioned, colour plays a big part. But also operation plays a big part. You might compare a white Ozroll roller shutter with manual operation to a white Ozroll roller shutter with sensor automation. You can have either manual, timer, or sensor automation. Timer will provide better results than manual. Sensor will provide the best results of all. And this is based on the concept that a sensor will respond to its environment and move the product in line with what's required to get the best result. Now there is a scheduling tool that the BMAA will provide. This will be live on the website, where you can enter in your location and it'll suggest to you the best operation times for your product in your area. Now we can take liberties when selling and explain to the consumer, if you're able to manually operate your product in line with the perfect schedule, the same as a sensor automated product would, then you could hypothetically have the exact same ratings. However, if they purchase a manually rated product, then the certificate will suggest that it's a manual product with manual ratings. Then lower on the certificate, we see some more of the results from the scientific modelling. And these ones are really important. That's the comparative energy performance ratings. Now keep in mind, these ratings are different and therefore not linear with the star ratings. Remember, the star ratings compare product to product. Well, these ratings compare the performance of the window with the specified product covering it compared to the performance of the window with no product covering it. Now, the modelling is done based on averages, so the average Australian home using standard materials, for example, 5mm clear glass windows with aluminium frames. So hypothetically, you could have a better performance if you had double glazing or timber or fiberglass frames. In addition to this, the comparison is done based on a window with no other product on it. So you could hypothetically suggest that a window with Ozroll plantation shutters on the inside and Ozroll's AR400 white roller shutter with sensor automation on the outside will have a better performance again. Now, what does 74% mean? 74% better for cooling. You can simplify that to say a 74% reduction in heat transfer. But it's not quite that simple, because remember, it factors in the solar heat gain coefficient and also the light transmittance as well. But when we look at these numbers, we start to get a real feel for the influence that a window covering can have on a room's insulation, which means an influence on the heating and cooling requirements for that room, which equals a real opportunity to reduce energy consumption for the homeowner. And that brings us to the end of this short presentation. If you'd like to know more, you can visit www.wincover.com.au. And if you'd like to get involved, then please speak to your Ozroll representative and we'll walk you through the requirements so that you can become an authorised distributor of WincovER products. Thank you.